friends, education and information is back. A people without the knowledge of the past, of the history is like tree without the roots. The more you know about your past, better you are prepared for the future. And in this section, we will learn the history of novel. Now, we will learn about novel, history of the novel, as we dealt with prose section and poetry section of standard 12 course book. Now we will explore the history of novel which is prescribed standard 12 English course book this year. In this video we will learn about novel as a genre, literature in brief, novel definition, history of novel, first novel in different eras, women novelists, types of novels, elements of novel, novella, definition, difference between novel and novella, and the last MCQ questions which proposed to us in HSC board examination. So watch the video till the end. We will explore a complete 4.1 section of history of novel in this video. Let's explore the background of the novel. What do the background mean? Background is what we call history of the novel. In this course book, novel is as a genre. Why this genre? In this, let's explore the background history of novel. What is background? It is called history. Okay. And the section 4.1. Why this genre? Why novel is called genre? As last year in standard 11 we explored about drama as a genre, and this year we will learn about novel as a genre. What is genre? Genre means nothing but the form of literature. Okay, my dear friend, and yes, question may arise in your mind, what do literature mean? We will learn in brief. Literature is a mirror of life, reflection of life, or criticism of life. And poetry, drama, novel, short story, these are the branches or form of literature. Among it, we will going to learn about the novel as a form of literature. See, what is the poetry? In short, my dear friend, see, poetry is language expressed in rhythm. Okay, what is drama? Drama is specific mode of fiction. And yes, what is novel? Novel is story written in narrative form. As we know, we like to see drama. Yes, apart from drama, you would like to see the movies, right? So movies are best on the novel. We are going to learn novel, history of novel in detail in very short period of time. So let's begin with what is a novel. English word novel is derived from Italian word novella, means the English word जो novel है वो Italian word novella से लिया गया है. Okay? Now, definition of novel. A novel is relatively long narrative fiction in prose. It is kind of prose form and it's a fiction. It can be imaginary, it can be realistic, but it is in the prose form. One more definition, a novel narrates a story with more detail of time, place, nature, people, their minds and their gestures and the activities in the novel. Everything is detailed, explained inner narrative song, लिखा होता है पूरा place about nature के बारे में, people के बारे में, about what is going in the mind, what is the reaction. Now origin of novel. 18th century has gifted English literature two entirely new forms. One is the periodic essay and the second one is the novel. And among it, novel is widely popularized among the reader in very short period of time. Okay, now we learn history of novel in brief. Why we need to learn history of novel? Because the writer writes at that period, time, place is reflected in his writing, so it is very important to learn about history of the novel. About 200 years ago, now novel evolved from Greek romances, and later on some attempts of writing novel were Virgil's Eclogue, Thomas More's Morte d'Arthur, and Geoffrey's Chaucer's and the Canterbury Tales. These were novels written in the 18th century and got various popularized. Now, this is about Murasaki Sekuba's A Tale of Genji in 1010 has been described as the world's first novel. See, question can be arise in MCQ question in the board exam, which is dash A is described as a first world novel. So don't forget about to write Murasaki Sekuba's Tale of Genji has been described as a world's first novel, and apart from various novels also written in this period. Murasaki Sekuba was a Japanese novelist. In his novel, The Tale of Genji centers on the life and loves of handsome son Hikaru Genji. Born to an emperor, in the story, the beloved combined to the emperor gives birth to Genji and dies soon after. And this is what the novel, which is the first novel in the world. And yes, as we know, the first European modern novel. This is also important question, can be arise in MCQ type. First European modern novel is Don Quixote, written by Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra. Was a Spanish writer widely regarded as one of the preeminent novelists. He is best known for his novel Don Quixote, and he is also father of European novel. Rajmohan's Wife was first novel in English by Indian. Question can be arise. Was first novel in English by Indian. Here Indians are also not far behind. They also remarkable work in writing in history of novel. And Rajmohan's Wife, this novel was serialized in the Indian novelist of 20th century. Ian Forster, James Joyce, Joseph Conrad, Henry James, George Orwell, Graham Greene, D.H. Lawrence, William Golding, Anthony Burgess. These novels written on political, social, psychological and other modern issues in their novels, and they become very popular because of their writing. And these are the three writers, immigrant authors, novelists: Salman Rushdie from India, V.S. Naipaul from Trinidad, and Kazuo Ishiguro from Japan. These also remarkable, these novelists also did remarkable in writing novels. And my dear friend, contribution of women novelists. That time women novelists also getting credits of writing various types of novel. Among them, some prominents are Frances Burney, Anne Radcliffe's, Mary Shelley, Jane Austen, Emily's and Charlotte, very well known as the Bronte sisters, George Eliot. These are the novelists, women novelists, and other is women novelists also Virginia Woolf, Agatha Christie, Parrots and Miss Marple, Harper Lee and Margaret Atwood, Toni Morrison and Alice Walker. These women novelists also contributed lots in writing. These are the three pillars of Indian novelists: Mulkraj Anand, R.K.Narayan and Raja Ram. These three major novelists who prepared the novel for next Indian generation. Mulkraj Anand's Backwater, R.K. Narayan's very famous series and novels also, Malgudu Days, and yes, by Raja Raw's Kantapura is widely popular in 20th century and as of now also. Now we will learn about types of novels, aspects of novel which is very important to learn before the novel. 4.2 section, 4.3 and 4.4. There we need to various types of novel. Before that, what types of novel? So we will learn it now. These are the 11 basic types of novel. We will learn in detail. Realistic novel to till Belnavas Man novel in this video. Let's begin with the realistic novel. Realistic? Yes, realism. Which something written by based on reality. A fictional attempt to give the effect of realism. This sort of novel is sometimes called novel of manners. Yes, it's based on realism. It's based on reality or realistic. For example, Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist. These are the real. Next type, picaresque novel. The word picaresque is originated from the word picaro or rough. A picaresque is novel about adventures of the protagonist who is an eccentric or disreputable person in an episodic form. For example, Daniel Defoe's Moll Flanders, Henry Fielding's Tom Jones. These are the novels widely known as a picaresque novels. See dear friend, there can be question. The word picaresque is originated from filling the blanks, the words. So you need to write and there can be example also. So as you should know about the one novel and examples of one types of the novel and examples of certain type of the novel. So keep it in mind before studying, before going for the examination. Yes, next, historical novel. Third part or types of the novel, historical novel. A historical novel is novel set in a period earlier than that of writing. Yes, historical novels mean जो जिस टाइप में हिस्ट्री में the period in which novel is written. For example, Thackeray's Vanity Fair, Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities, and Sir Walter Scott's Ivanhoe. These are the historical novel. Yes, and next, epistolary novel. The word epistolary means from the Latin word epistola means letter. Epistolary fiction is popularly genre where narrative is told via series of documents. As we very familiar, we are Very fond of now the web series. The same, it is kind of letter, kind of sequence, kind of scenes in novel is going on. For example, Samuel Richardson's Pamela and Alice Walker's The Color Purple. These are the picaresque novel. And the next, Gothic novel. As we know, this novel is about, any guess? Horror? Any guess? About the devil? Or one more guess? Yes. The novel that includes terror, mystery, horror, thriller, supernatural, doom, dead or destroy or haunted buildings are called the Gothic novels. For example, see various movies also based on these novels. For example, Raj and all. Various movies are based on this novel. Horace Walpole's The Castle Otranto and Mary Shelley's The Frankenstein are the best example of Gothic horror, terror, mystery based novel. And the next, about the autobiographical novel. Autobiographical novel is the novel based on life of the author. It can be first person, third person narration, place, people's name can be changed by the author and written by the life, history or based on the life of the author. See, Virginia Woolf's biography. Yes, very famous novel about Gandhi and autobiography. Abdul Kalam's Wings of Fire, The Story of My Life by Helen Keller. These are the famous autobiographical novels. Allegorical novel. Next type is allegory. An allegory is story that bears more than one level of meaning. Any word has one meaning, but here in this novel there is one word with a various meaning. The surface meaning of such novel is different from the symbolic meaning. Yes, the understanding of overall and the symbolic meaning is also there. The symbolic meaning of an allegory may be political, religious, historical or philosophical also. George Orwell's Animal Farm and William Golding's Lord of the Flies. These are the allegorical novel, which is one surface meaning and one is the symbolic meaning. Next type of novel, utopian and dystopian novel. Utopian is imaginary community or society possessing the ideal qualities. A novel that presents an ideal society where the problems of poverty, greed, crime and so forth have been eliminated. For example of this kind of novel, Thomas More's Utopia and Samuel Butler's And Worm. And next novel is, type of novel is type of utopian and dystopian novel is another types of novels. Utopian is an imaginary community or society possessing the ideal qualities. A novel that presents an ideal society where the problems of poverty, greed, crime and so forth have been eliminated. For example, Thomas More's Utopia and Samuel Butler's Airborne. These are the two examples. Next type of novel is the psychological novel. Psychological novel is the work of fiction that treats the internal life of protagonist or even the other characters as much as the external factors. Protagonist means here the hero of the novel, the main character of the novel. And this novel treats the internal life of the protagonist. Example of psychological novels are Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse and Dear Lawrence Sons and Lovers. Next novel is Stream of Consciousness. It is little bit similar to the psychological type of novel also. Stream of consciousness means the flow of thoughts, incidents in the Plots are in sequence of their occurrence. The novelist narrates them as they enter the mind of character. This type of novel, whenever writer is writing, depicting, he is writing the inner mind of the character, what is going in the character's mind. For example, James Joyce's Ulysses, Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse, and The Waves. These are the stream of conscious novel, and it is the very famous techniques nowadays which is used in novel and which is in serials and films also. And last type of novel is Bildungsroman novel. The German word Bildungsroman indicates the growth. The fictional biography or autobiography is connected with the growth of the protagonist's mind, spirit, characters from their childhood to adulthood. जो growth है protagonist की, जो main कैरेक्टर है, जो हीरो ऑफ द नॉवल है, हीरो ऑफ द स्टोरी है, उसके माइंड के बारे में, चाइल्डहुड से अभी तक के बारे में पूरी ग्रोथ इस नॉवल में बताई जाती है. हियर प्रोटैगनिस्ट मीन्स हीरो और एंटागोनिस्ट मीन्स विलन. एज वी नो, विलन इज द काइंड ऑफ बैड पर्सन, अ बैड मैन. For example, Charles Dickinson, A Great Expectations, and Margaret Michael's Gone with the Wind. These are the. Let's discuss about elements of novel or novella. Plot, characters, setting, conflict, language, style, theme. These are the 6 basic elements of novel or novella. All these 6 factors may be related to one another in the work by the authors, by the novelist. Now we will learn one by one about it. Now first let's begin with the plot. What is plot? Plot is organized pattern or sequence of events that make a story. Every plot is made up of series incidents that is related to one another. These are the stages of plots: exposition, climax, resolution. My dear friend, whenever you are reading any novel, reading any story, you will see these are the 3 basic plots of any story, any movie or any web series. First, their beginning, exposition, climax. Here, various problems faced by the major character and resolution certainly change in the last part of the novel. It can be tragedy, it can be kind of tragedy drama, it can be tragedy kind of comedy, it can be anything, but these are the basic elements of the novel which is called the plot. And the next one about the exposition. This usually occurs at the beginning of a novel. Here characters are introduced. Here any beginning of a novel, exposition means characters के बारे में बताया जाता है, which character will be there, who will be there, and उनका introduction बताया जाता है. Next one, rising action. This part of the story begins to develop conflicts, a building interest और suspense occur. जिस तरह से मूवी देखते और ये नॉवल पढ़ते उसमें से राइजिंग एक्शन, यहाँ पे एग्जैक्टली एक्शन शुरू हो जाता है. व्हाट इज द रोल्स दे कम टू नो, एंड हियर द मेजर पार्ट इज अबाउट द क्लाइमैक्स. Fourth one, this is the turning point of the story. Usually the main character comes face to face with the conflict. The main character will change some way. Here villain or the protagonist or the antagonist, hero or the villain come across, and there can be here the hero or main character you will find in facing with the certain situation, and stories completely change after this. And now all loose ends of the plot are tied up, the conflicts and climax are taken care of. And here the following action. Now what lesson they got from that climax? here, which will comes under the following action, and the last about the resolution. The story comes to a reasonable ending. Any story reasonable moral, totally change the mind of the villain or the mind of the main character. जिस तरह से हम कुछ भी मूवी देखते हैं, there is a one lesson after the movie, after the story. The same in the plot itself, it is decided by the author what is going to happen, how it will be happen, and how the situation will resolve. And the next elements of the novel is the theme. Theme is big idea of a novel, a message the author is sending. The author doesn't come across or write out say what theme is. Sometimes author हमको बताता है न्यूज, जो मूवीज देख रहे हैं या नॉवेल देख रहे हैं उसमें हमको और पता चलता है. Your job as a reader to find out what the author is saying. Sometimes it is our job, we have to find out what is theme of this novel. The theme of a fable is the moral it teaches. The boy who cried wolf. This is very famous story and we know the moral after the listening the story. The theme of the novel is author's view of life and how people behave, and it's based on the author's perspective and how people behave and what lesson should be given after to the reader after the novel. Yes, next elements of the novel which is very important, that is character and characterization. Characterization is an essential element of a novel. The author unveils the personality of character through the characterization. Here, as the Hamlet by Shakespeare, there are various types of character, and characterization is art. Whatever writer, novelist writing the novel, he is depicting character in such a way so the character will unveil. Types of characters. These types of any type of character writer can take: round character, flat character, dynamic characters, and static characters. Any one or mixture of any character novel list is choosing while exploring, while writing is the novel. Next elements of the novel is the setting. Setting is yet another compelling element of novel. Setting means the location where the events of the novel have been taken place, and it might be one place or it might cover more than one place, as the novel is written on based on various places also. So setting is also major important part of the novel which is reflects in the novel writing. And next part about the conflicts. Conflict is a literary device characterized by a struggle between two opposition forces. See, in our life is we are also dealing with conflicts, right? In the society I behave like this way, what people will talk about me, मैं ऐसे करूँगा तो लोग क्या बोलेंगे, इस तरह से we have always conflict in the mind. So the same that aspects, that elements is depicted in the novel. Types of the conflict, it can be type internal struggle that takes place in the character's mind. Character with self, हमारे mind में हर time हमारा struggle चलता है खुद के साथ. The second external conflict, the struggle between a character and outside force. It can be character with other character, character with society, character with nature. And the last elements of the novel is the language and the style. Language and style is a way in which an author writes or tells a story. It is again very important elements of the novel. Author can use various styles also, way to tell the story. It can be dialogue, description, narration, interior monologue, association of ideas. Language can any type, syntax, sentences, vocabulary, simple to complex, short or long, realistic or symbolic, any language. Let's learn about novella. As earlier I told you, the word novel is taken from the novella. Okay, so there is difference between the word novel and novella also. We will see the what is difference. A novella is word originated from Italian word novelli. It may be the important question for the HSC board. So please don't ignore the spelling of both three words novel, novella and novelli also. Now we'll learn about the characteristic of novella. Yes. And the first characteristic in novella, it is type of prose fiction which is shorter than a full length novel and longer than short story. इस टाइप का फिक्शन होता है जो नॉवेल से थोड़ी छोटी होती है और शॉर्ट स्टोरी से थोड़ी बड़ी होती है. इट इज कॉल्ड नॉवेला. नेक्स्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, शॉर्ट नरेटिव बट वेल स्ट्रक्चर्ड, satiristic or realistic in tone, focuses on one incident or issue with one or two main character. And the last characteristic of novella is story takes place at a single tradition. It's nearby, close to the novel, but not novel, not short story. It is in between the both short story and novella. And these are the famous novellas in English. Famous novella novelists in English: Joseph Conrad, The Heart of Darkness; Henry James, The Turn of the Screw; Herman Melville's Billy Budd; Thomas Mann's Death in Venice; Soul Below Sees the Day; John Steinbeck, Paul. And this is very important. This can be again the type of question. The match the following type about the novellas and the novels. So before going further, just try to repeat it. Pause the video and you can just repeat it also by yourself. Now we'll discuss about the difference between novel and novella. The first difference between the novel is the word novel originated from Italian word novella, and the word novella is originated from Latin word novelli. It can be important question for the board examination on 4.1. So please be specific about it and be careful while listening and while reading. These are the minor difference between novel and novella. A long narrative fiction in prose and novella is shorter than novel and longer than short story. Novel, it has main plot and subplots. Various subplots can be, but in novella it focuses on one incident or only one main plot. Next difference, novel has unlimited places, but novella is with limited place or the time. And the last difference between novel and novella is novel has more major and minor characters, but novella has one or two main character. You can take screenshot of this as it is very important to understand. Just revise it, it will be very easier. And now this is also the difference between novella is the genre of fiction which is referred to as a long narrative prose which presents a quite lengthy story of group of fictional or imaginary character and events. It is kind of imaginary, it's based on, but novella, as we know, being slightly different from the novel in terms of its length. Novella is referred to a genre of fiction which is longer than short story but shorter than a novel. These are the basic difference between novel and the novella. And now we are moving toward the very important aspects of this video about the MCQ questions which will be asked in examination. This type of question can be asked in examination. Just we will go through few questions. These are not enough. We need to go all types of question. I will provide you test also in description box. Go through it, but we will just go through the few questions. The word picaresque is originated from the word. Any guesses? Just tell me first if you watched the video till the end. If you not watch, just go back and try to find out the answer. Okay. Next question. The definitely question can be the filling the blanks or choose the correct alternatives from the following on the best. And now let's move toward the MCQ type questions which supposed to be asked in board examination and which is very important. Now let's move towards MCQ questions, which is very important part of 4.1 section. See, question can be filling the blanks or choose the correct alternatives from the following, and we need to go for the question can be match the following novel and the famous novelist from their work. Any question can be. These are the just example which I am keeping in front of you, so you will have the idea what type of question, so you will study accordingly. Okay, the first the word picaresque is originated from the word yes. Any guesses? If not, just go back to the video or open the textbook and find out the answer. Now the next, the English word novel is derived from the Italian word novella, which means, yes, do it very fast. Yes, now only we discussed before few minutes ago. Third one, the epistolary novel presents the narrative through letter, email, blog, message. Yes, find out. And the fourth one, the novel which indicates terror, mystery, horror, supernatural elements and haunted buildings is called. Which type of novel? Is it the realistic? Is it the historical? Is it the utopian? Or is the Gothic novel? This answer I am going to tell you. This type of novel is called Gothic novel, which is based on mystery, supernatural characters. Two questions. Fifth one, the novel based on the life of the author is which type of novel? Just again go back through the video, go to the textbook and definitely tell me, or you can comment me these answer in comment box. That will be better. Sixth one, the protagonist in the novel means, yes, a minor character, a main character, attendant or antagonist. What it mean? I also explained in it. Just go through. The seventh one, the dash 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 is the background in which the story takes place. Conflict, theme, plot, setting. Yes, again go through the finding out the answer and let it me know in comment box. And the last question based on MCQ type is 81 dash 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 has been described as the world's first novel. See, these are the four options given. Which is first novel? Definitely I hope you got it because we begin with the types of the novel. Before that we begin with this type of novel. Yes, this answer again I am going to tell you. Correct option is the B, Tale of Genji by Murasaki Kikubo. Right? I hope you understand this section. And a big thank you to everyone for your support, and this is very important section. Video can be lengthy, video is lengthy, but I hope you understand everything here. Apart from understanding, your memorization is very important because questions would be asked. In this section 4.1 history of novel will be a memory based question, knowledge based question. And yes, before studying 4.2, 4.3, we should know about what is character mean, what is plot mean, which type of novel. So it's very important. I hope you understand and all.